This year, there wasn't a great deal of debate. One of the first ideas that came up was, oh, let's do something with Downton Abbey.
We're going to take that story, inject a lot of silliness and music, and kind of reimagine the characters a bit, give them something to laugh at that they wouldn't get from the show, and just like more of that.
Downton Abbey is about a period that we feel we do pretty well. You know, we're a company that specializes mostly in Victorian operetta, but we do branch out into the early 20th century from time to time. It's one of those periods that lends itself to the kind of style that we do well. So it seems like a natural fit. Simplicity is the hardest thing to do. Let's just start with that, okay? Yes, it sounds simple, and there is an elegance and a simplicity to a lot of this music and the lyrics when they're well written, but that doesn't mean they're easy to do. The Mary, Mary, Mary trio is a perfect example.
I want to marry Mary, but she looks upon me coldly, so I thought I might address the case a teeny bit more boldly. There's affection or emotion, we can keep it to a flag and
It's a funny lyric with the ear because we've got these three words, Mary, the person, marry, haha, and marry, the verb, and you throw them all together in every possible configuration.
because I want to marry Mary.
So you want to marry Mary. So you want to marry Mary. So you want to marry Mary.
Good thing we're using super titles, that will help, okay? Making it seem simple is the hard work.
If I were not a little mean and generally awful, I'd be happy to insist in your endeavors whether lawful or wrong. But since I'm nasty and I always need an angle that you often overquote has brought me into this triangle.
There's nowhere to breathe. You cannot breathe in that song. No breathing happens. You must just keep singing and pretend that you're not breathing.
Gasping.
Gasping.
They don't teach gasping at singing school.
They should.
Make the maiden marry, marry.
Make the maiden marry, marry. Make the maiden marry, 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 marry. They're taking me for granted and I'm due for a promotion, but the bass comes in and cuts me out. No wonder I'm emotional.
It takes a great deal of commitment to the diction. You have to get the tempo just right with a song like that. If it's too fast, either it can't be sung or it can't be heard, but if it's too slow, people run out of breath. So there are a lot of elements that you're trying to keep in balance to make a song like that work. And then of course you have to add movement to it as well, and can they still get the words out, while moving around.
Okay.
Are we planning to take it slightly under tempo because it's...
That was under.
Right. I knew that, but I was wondering whether it was going to stay there or it was going to
We'll see what it works up to.
Right.
Okay.
Remember now, it's a gala. They've never heard these words before.
Right. That's the use, yeah.
All right.
It's simple, but it's not simplistic, and that's the other thing. The thing that I think people enjoy about this music is that it is easy on the ear. It's not hard to follow the music. It's not hard to understand what's going on. First of all, people who know the Gilbert and Sullivan canon, they're going to come and they're going to enjoy the parody of the Gilbert and Sullivan lyrics. They're going to enjoy the familiar music. They're going to enjoy even the parody of the dialogue.
Did she pass up your entreaty? Let Monsanto woo your sweetie.
Here now. What's all this day?
John, you're moving.
Up to some skullduggery, are we?
Lines here and there that will ring familiar to people who know the canon.
We know all about Tahiti.
That's a better position. We also expect that there will be Downton Abbey fans who will come to see the show who may not necessarily be Gilbert and Sullivan fans, and hopefully this will turn them on to that. They'll get to see their familiar characters with this charming music and funny lyrics. So
Raise up your glass, hail the Redeemer of Downton. Yes, lacking in class, as for his taste, no fountain. Now.
Also, they get a chance to laugh at the show because people love it and it's got its serious side, but there's a lot of it's fun to satirize it.
the premise of any Gilbert and Sullivan operetta is usually a really ridiculous idea that goes wrong, and the resolutions to the plots often hinge on the most absurd turn of phrase.
Must be in your way, 'tis my confusion, my dismay, I must have stumbled.
This is the kind of silliness that's typical in Gilbert and Sullivan, and we try to find the same style of silliness in the galas that we write. So Downton Abbey is not a silly show, but it does have a really complex legal document at its heart that requires that the property be passed to a male heir, and if there isn't a male heir, there's a great deal of trouble in the family. And the same is true in our case. But we have to have a really ridiculous resolution to that at the end of Act 2, and I won't tell you what it is.